MCQ on NEP 2020. So the first question of this session is, what is the role of Central Advisory Board of Education CABE as per the policy? Option: to provide financial support to educational institution to develop and articulate the vision of education in the country, to regulate the education sector, to conduct entrance examination. So the answer of this question is option B, that is to develop and articulate the vision of education in the country. ओके, कि CABE का जो सेंट्रल रोल है वो क्या, कि डेवलप और आर्टिकुलेट करना एक एजुकेशन का जो विजन, हमारा कंट्री का विजन क्या होगा, हो गया, उसको आर्टिकुलेट करना, उसी को डेवलप करना ही क्या है, CABE का मेन रोल है और मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव है. What is the recommended name change for the Ministry of Human Resource Development, MHRD, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Higher Education, Ministry of School Education, Ministry of Professional Education? So the answer of this question is option A, that is Ministry of Education. आप सभी को पता है. What is the target public expenditure on education as a percentage of GDP? Option 4%, 5%, 6%, 7%. So the answer of this question is option C, that is 6%. और ये जो है वो कोठारी कमीशन से recommended होते हुए आ रहा है. Which of the following is not a key area for long-term financing under the policy? Option: universal provisioning of quality early childhood care and education, investigating in teacher education and continuing professional development, commercialization of education, extensive use of technology and online education. So the answer of this question is option C, that is commercialization of education. ये एक की एरिया नहीं है, ओके, हमारा पॉलिसी का लॉन्ग टर्म फाइनेंसिंग के लिए. What is the recommended medium of instruction for early education as per the NEP 2020? Option: English, home language, mother tongue, local language, regional language, Hindi, any international language. So the answer of this question is option B, that is home language, mother tongue, local language, regional language. ये क्या होना चाहिए कि recommended medium है ECC के लिए. By which grade should the medium of instruction ideally be the home language, mother tongue, local language, regional language? Grade 3, grade 5, grade 8, grade 10. So the answer of this question is option B, that is grade 5. Which of the following is not listed as an essential skill to be learned by all students in the NEP 2020? Option: scientific temper and evidence-based thinking, coding and computational thinking, foreign language proficiency, environmental awareness. So the answer of this question is option C, that is foreign language proficiency. इसी का बारे में NEP 2020 बोल नहीं रहा है, लेकिन साइंटिफिक टेम्पर, एविडेंस बेस्ड थिंकिंग, कोडिंग, कंप्यूटेशनल थिंकिंग, एनवायरमेंटल अवेयरनेस, इस सब का बारे में कहीं ना कहीं बात कर रहा है. What is the policy's stance on the inclusion of vocational education in the school curriculum? Option: it should be limited to higher education. It should be integrated into the school curriculum from an early stage. It should be optional for student. It should be replace academic education. So the answer of this question is option B, that is it should be integrated into the school curriculum from an early stage. What is the policy's recommendation for the structure of undergraduate degree program in higher education institution? Option: fixed 3-year programs, flexible 3 to 4-year programs with multiple exit option, only 4-year programs, 2-year programs with an option to extended. So the answer of this question is option B, that is flexible 3 to 4-year program विथ मल्टीपल एग्जिट ऑप्शन. ओके, ये अंडर ग्रेजुएट प्रोग्राम्स के लिए क्या किया गया है, रिकमेंडेशन किया गया है. व्हाट इज द रोल ऑफ द एकेडमिक बैंक ऑफ क्रेडिट as proposed in the NEP 2020? provide financial assistance to student, to store academic credit digitally for recognizing across institution, to regulate higher education institution, to conduct entrance examination. So the answer of this question is option B, that is to store academic credit digitally for recognizing across institution. ओके, ये क्या है, हमारा जो एबीसी है उसी का एक रोल है कि ये जो एकेडमिक क्रेडिट जो है उसी को डिजिटली स्टोर करना, और रिकॉग्नाइज इंस्टीट्यूशंस का जो आता है उसको डिजिटली स्टोर करना ही इसका मेन मकसद है. What is the policy's recommendation for faculty recruitment in higher education institution? Option: faculty should be recruited based on seniority. Faculty should be recruited based on merit and demonstrated leadership skill. Faculty should be recruited based on political connection. Faculty should be recruited based on number of obligations. So the answer of this question is option B, that is faculty should be recruited based on merit and demonstrated leadership skill. Next, what is the policy stance on faculty autonomy in higher education institution? Option: faculty should have limited autonomy. Faculty should have significant autonomy in designing curricula and pedagogy. Faculty should not have any autonomy. Faculty autonomy should be restricted to research activities only. So the answer of this question is option B, that is faculty should have significant autonomy इन डिजाइनिंग करिकुला एंड पेडागोगी. ओके, ये फैकल्टी को ऑटोनॉमी प्रोवाइड करने के बारे में बात कर रहा है. नेक्स्ट, व्हाट इज द रोल ऑफ नेशनल एजुकेशनल टेक्नोलॉजी फोरम आज फॉर एनईपी 2020 टू प्रोवाइड ए प्लेटफॉर्म फॉर द एक्सचेंज ऑफ आइडिया on the use of technology in education, to regulate the use of technology in educational institution, to provide financial support for technology initiative, to conduct entrance examination. So the answer of this question is option A, that is to provide a platform for the exchange of idea on the use of technology in education. What is the policy's recommendation for the use of technology in education? Option: to replace traditional teaching method entirely, to support and enhance traditional teaching method, to limit the use of technology to online exam, to use technology only for administrative purposes. So the answer of this question is option B, that is to support and enhance traditional teaching method. Next, what is the policy's stance on online and digital education? It should be primary mode of education. It should be used to supplement traditional education. It should be avoided due to the digital divide. It should be used only in higher education. So the answer of this question is option B, that is it should be used to supplement traditional education. What is the policy's recommendation for addressing the digital divide in online education? Option: ignore the digital divide and focus on urban area. Invest in creating often interoperable and evolvable digital infrastructure. Limit online education to affluent student. Use only traditional method of education. So the answer of this question is option B, that is invest in creating often interoperable and evolvable digital infrastructure. What is the policy's recommendation for the implementation of NEP 2020? Implementation should be done in a phased manner. Implementation should be done all at once. Implementation should be done only at central level. Implementation should be done only at state level. So the answer of this question is option A, that is implementation should be done in phased manner. What is the role of the Ministry of Human Resource Development (MHRD) in the implementation of policy? Option: to provide financial support only, to develop and articulate vision of education in the country, to regulate the education sector, to conduct entrance examination. So the answer of this question is option B, that is to develop and regulate vision of education in the country. Okay, CB का ये भी सब. What is the policy stand on private philanthropic activity in education sector? Option: it should be discouraged, it should be encouraged and supported. It should be regulated strictly. It should be ignored. So the answer of this question is option B. That is, it should be encouraged and supported. What is the policy's approach to ensuring education for students with disability? Option: segregate them into special school, integrate them into mainstream school with necessary support, provide education only through online platform, limit their education to vocational training. So the answer of this question is option B, that is integrate them into mainstream school with necessary support. Which of the following measures in is not mentioned in the policy to support students from socio-economically disadvantaged group? Option: providing free boarding facilities, offering scholarship and financial assistance, building new school in on under-reserved area, restricting area access to higher education. So the answer of this question is option D, restricting area in higher education. What is the primary goal of establishing school complex and cluster? Option: to centralize school administration, to improve resource efficiency and governance, to reduce the number of school, to increase student fees. So the answer of this question is option B, that is to improve resource efficiency and governance. What is the which of the following is not a benefit of school complexes cluster as mentioned in policy? Option: improved support for children with disability, enhanced cooperation between public and private school, increased isolation of teachers, better incorporation of art and sport in the curriculum. So the answer of this question is option C, that is increased isolation of teacher. This is not a benefit. Okay. What is the primary role of National Research Foundation (NRF) as embraced the policy? To regulate higher education institutions, to fund and promote high quality research across discipline, to conduct entrance examination, to provide financial assistance to students. So the answer of this question is option B, that is to fund and promote higher education, high quality research across discipline. Which of the following is not a function of the National Research Foundation (NRF)? Funding competitive peer-reviewed research proposal, providing scholarship to students, acting as a liaison between research and government agencies, recognizing outstanding research. So the answer of this question is option B, that is providing scholarship to students. What is the proposed structure of Higher Education Commission of India? Uh, a single regulatory body for all educational function, four independent verticals within one umbrella institution, multiple regulatory bodies for different stream, a decentralized system with no central regulation. So the answer of this question is option B, that is four independent verticals within one umbrella institution. Which of the following is not one of four verticals of HECI? Option: National Higher Education Regulatory Council (NHERC), National Accreditation Council (NAC), Higher Education Grant Council (HEGC), National Testing Agency (NTA). So the answer of this question is option D, that is National Testing Agency. Next question is, what is the policy stance on the use of Indian languages in education? Option: discourage the use of Indian languages, promote the use of Indian language in education and administration, limit the use of Indian language to cultural study, use only English and Hindi for education. So the answer of this question is option B, that is promote the use of Indian languages in education and administration. Which of the following initiative is not mentioned in the policy to promote Indian languages? Establishing language academic for 8th scheduled language, developing high quality language teaching material, banning the use of foreign language in education, encouraging bilingual education. So the answer of this question is option C, that is banning use of foreign language in education. ये क्या है? Not इसका बारे में हमारा जो एनईपी पॉलिसी है उसी में कुछ जिक्र नहीं किया गया है. What is the role of NETF, National Technology Forum, National Educational Technology Forum, as per the policy? Option: to regulate the use of technology in education, to provide a platform for exchange of ideas on educational technology, to conduct entrance examination, to provide financial support for technology initiatives. So the answer of this question is option B, that is to provide a platform for exchange of idea on educational technology. Which of the following is not a function of NETF? Option: providing independent advice on technology based intervention, building intellectual and institutional capacities in educational technology, conducting entrance examination for higher education, articulating a new direction for research and innovation. So the answer of this question is option C, that is conducting entrance examination for higher education. What is the role of Central Advisory Board of Education as per the policy? Option: to provide financial support to educational institutions, to develop and articulate the vision of education in the country, to regulate the education sector, to conduct entrance examination. So the answer of this question is option B, that is to develop and articulate the vision of education in the country. Next, what is the policy's recommendation for the Ministry of Human Resource Development? Option: to focus solely on higher education, to be redesigned as Ministry of Education, to limit its role to policy formulation, to be dissolved. Answer of this question is option B, that is to designated as Ministry of Education. Which of the following is not a key area for long-term financing under the policy? Option: I think this question already we discussed. What is the policy's recommendation for addressing digital divide in online education? ये इसको भी हम लोग कर चुके हैं. But it which of the following not a key area of professional education for her? Which of the following is not a focus area for professional education as per policy? Option: integrating professional education with general education, focusing, ये भी इसको भी हम लोग कर चुके हैं. What is the role of Board of Governors (BOG) in higher education? Institution as per policy: to provide financial support to students, to govern institution free and external interference, to conduct entrance examination, to regulate the education sector. So the answer of this question is option B. What is the policy's recommendation for the governance of higher education institution? Centralized governance by a single regulatory body, decentralized government with autonomy for higher education institution, governance by Ministry of Human Resource Development, governance by state government only. So the answer of this question is option B, that is decentralized governance with autonomy for higher education institution. What is the policy's approach to supporting gifted students? Ignore this special talent, provide them with additional enrichment, material and guidance, segregate them into special school, limit their education to vocational training. So the answer of this question is option B, that is provides them with additional enrichment, material and graduates. What is the proposed frequency of school examination in grade 3, 5 and 8? Annually, biannually, triannually, only at the end of the 8th grade? Answer is annually. What is the policy's recommendation for the assessment system in school? Continue with the current summative assessment system, shift to a more formative and competency based assessment system, focus solely on the rote learning and memorization, eliminate all form of assessment. So the answer of this question is option B, that is shift to a more formative and competency based assessment system. As a senior academician and admissions counselor of a school, which of the following subject combination you will suggest to student of an arts scheme as per NEP 2020? English, History, Geography, Political Science, Computer Science. English, History, Geography, Political Science, Physical Education. English, History, Geography, Political Science, Biology. Guide him to take his or her desired subject combination. So the answer of this question is option D, that is guide him to take his or her desired subject combination. The vision of NEP 2020 is to transform India into a vibrant knowledge society, skill India, free and compulsory education to the age of 14, to make every citizen as a human capital. आंसर इस एक्चुअल में सारे के सारे हैं, लेकिन ऑप्शन वन इज द करेक्ट ऑप्शन. Suppose you are the academic head of your institution and you generally manage the subject combination of senior secondary student as per NEP 2020. Which of the following subject combination student can avail at senior secondary? One must option for all science subject. One must option for all commerce subject. One may have freedom to uh, option for any subject combination. One must option for all the art subject. So the answer of this question is option C. That is, one may have the freedom to option for any subject combination. NEP 2020 is incorrect. Gross enrollment ratio in higher education institution to be raised to 30% by 2035. An academic bank of credit is to be established to facilitate the transfer of credit. National Research Foundation will be created as an FX body to foster research. NEP 2020 emphasize setting of a gender inclusion fund. So the answer of this question is option A, that is GER in higher education to be raised to 30%, not 30%, 50%. That's why this is the incorrect